Good evening, viewers. You're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where I curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. I'm Preeti Chaudhary, and these are the headlines. Prime Minister Modi in Morbi meets victim and visits the accident site where the bridge snapped. Prime Minister chairs review meet and assures justice and a thorough probe for survivors. India Today tracks firm behind collapse. Top Oreva officials go missing. Oreva boss Jaisukh Bhai Patel's house deserted. Offices shut down since Diwali. Conman Sukesh's explosive charge at Aam Aadmi Party writes letter to the Delhi LG alleging he paid over 60 crores to Aam Aadmi Party and Satyendra Jain. Kejriwal calls it BJP's attempt to divert attention. Air quality deteriorates across Delhi as several locations turn hazardous. Quality to remain very poor to severe in the next 6 days. War of words erupts over stubble burning. On last day of Munugod bike polls in Telangana, violence breaks out on the last day of campaigning. BJP convoy attacked by TRS. Police resort to lathi charge. Mega escalation in state of war Telangana after Rahul mocks KCR for his national ambition. KTR hits back, calls Rahul a wannabe Prime Minister. Elon Musk cements control on Twitter. Now the sole director of Twitter, Musk fuels suspense on Trump returning. पूरा जूते मत लेना. Because a day after the tragedy in Gujarat, Morbi, the bridge collapse took over 130 lives. The Prime Minister went and visited the site where this entire tragedy unfolded. The Prime Minister visited the accident site, going to the exact spot where the cable snapped. He was briefed about the tragedy by the State Home Minister, Harsh Sanghvi. Moreover, from the accident site, he went to the civil hospital where the injured are undergoing treatment, interacted with the victims expressing sympathy. Also held a high-level meet with Morbi's SP office, apprising himself on the speed of investigation, where SP, the Deputy SP and the IG briefed him about the ongoing investigation. He also met the Morbi heroes who carried out relentless relief and rescue operations, waiting for help to come and pulling out many and saving lives in the nick of time. Notably, before the Prime Minister's arrival in Morbi, the authorities covered the board of Oreva, the company behind Morbi's bridge renovation and maintenance, now in the dock for flouting norms. Not just that, the entire Morbi hospital, where all the injured have been admitted, went through a fresh coat of paint in terms of sprucing up for the Prime Minister's visit, prompting the opposition to make the charge of misplaced priorities. My colleague Mustafa joins us right now from Morbi. Mustafa, will you take us through? The Prime Minister went, met the victims, spoke to the SP on the speed of investigations. What more can you add?
Well, yes, this evening the Prime Minister took first-hand stock of the situation in Morbi because it's a tragedy which led to a loss of many lives. The Prime Minister personally visited. First, he went to the spot. He understood what had taken place because this, remember, was an old bridge. So Prime Minister must have seen it earlier also. But the recent renovation and recently opening up of the bridge and the overcrowding is something which has must have caused this tragedy. After from the spot, the civic hospital and especially at the SP's office meeting, the family of the victims, people who lost their relatives, the dear ones in this tragedy, the Prime Minister told them that they're trying their best so that no such tragedy happens in the future. After PM left, we met the families there. There was a father who had 3 sons. He lost all 3 of them, all 3 young children. There was one father who lost a 10-year-old daughter So clearly there are a lot of tragic stories. There is some mismanagement, whether the blame or the responsibility for the culpable homicide has been fixed. The 9 arrests which have taken place, are those the people who are really responsible for this tragedy? These are questions which are arising in many people's mind. We are following up this story. We are expecting that there will be some action soon after the Prime Minister.
Well, that's the big question, Mustafa. Where will the buck stop? Will it be limited to those 9 who have already been arrested, some of them just playing security guards when this entire event unfolded, or contractors who were giving out tickets, or will the big heads roll? That's a question that India Today is going to continuously ask right here on this bulletin. With that, I want to take you through the other big news that we are tracking, which is coming from Morbi itself, and that is the civil hospital. The night before the Prime Minister's visit went through a complete makeover, prompting the opposition to question the misplaced priorities of the Gujarat government.
Painted, scrubbed, tiled. A day after Morbi's suspension bridge plunged into the river below, killing at least 135 people, the civil hospital in the district treating some of the injured survivors got a facelift overnight. The makeover coming ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's scheduled visit to the facility.
Here you can see that how the cleaning work is undergoing. Let me tell you, there is also the painting work which has been happening in this particular hospital since yesterday night, and lot of work, the renovation work of this hospital is also being done, and there are several questions which have been asked by the opposition. Yesterday Aam Aadmi Party also protested over here that why, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting this hospital, all this work is being done.
On their part, hospital authorities called it a routine exercise.
PM साहब की दौरे के मद्देनजर कुछ अलग से तैयारियां की गई, कुछ अलग से कुछ
नहीं, it is a routine activity. It is taking place everywhere in all government setup.
In the middle of a harsh election campaign, the opposition, however, doesn't buy official claims hands down. Seeking to unseat the ruling BJP in Gujarat, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party was among the first to tweet out the facelift videos. Its sneering lines alleged preparations for a photo shoot during the Prime Minister's visit. Aam Aadmi Party leaders escalated their political attack on the ground.
अभी तक 27 साल में जो ये सुविधाएं नहीं मिल पा रही है, और गरीब लोग जितने भी है वो इतने साल से दुखी थे. इधर पूरे डॉक्टर की भी व्यवस्था अच्छी तरह से नहीं थी, कोई एमडी डॉक्टर भी घट इधर दिख रही है, और इधर बहुत सारी अव्यवस्था थी, और रातों रात जो पीएम मोदी के लिए जो काम चालू कर दिया गया है, तो ये लोग हमारी फीलिंग्स के साथ जो खिलवाड़ कर रहे हैं ना, उससे हम लोगों को अभी तक दुख है.
The Congress was equally sarcastic, calling the hospital repairs event-bazi for the Prime Minister's tour.
जब पूरा गुजरात गम में डूबा हुआ है, तब भारतीय जनता पार्टी का शासन मोरबी की सिविल हॉस्पिटल को रंग रोगान कलर काम करके सजा दे रहा है, क्योंकि उनको ये लगता है कि इस तरह से इवेंट मैनेजमेंट करके मोदी जी खुश हो जाएंगे.
A Rajya Sabha member from Haryana, BJP leader Ramchandar Jangra, tried to mount a stout defense of the government, but ended up calling the victims careless in their festive stroll on the Morbi bridge.
अब इसमें कांग्रेस पता नहीं इसमें भी राजनीति का रास्ता खोज रही है, ये उनके दिमाग का दिवालियापन है. और वहाँ पर 125-150 लोगों की कैपेसिटी थी, 300 टिकटें दी गई, लोगों को रोका नहीं गया, और लोग भी लापरवाह होकर वहाँ पर झूलने लगे. इसमें प्रधानमंत्री ने भी अपनी संवेदनाएं व्यक्त की हैं, गृह मंत्री जी ने भी की हैं, बाकायदा वहाँ सारी रैपिड फोर्स लगा दी गई हैं, और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को बचाया गया है.
India awaits a sharp regulatory response that serves as powerful deterrence against man-made disasters like Morbi, not cosmetics or political rhetoric. With Mustafa Sheikh and Saurabh Vakhtania in Morbi, Gujarat, Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to cut across right now to my colleague Saurabh Vakhtania, who's joining us from more. Saurabh, you know, the civil hospital has gone ahead and said that this is routine. Before any visit of a VIP, this happens. But when you look at it, it smacks in the face of all of those who've been admitted there. A fresh coat of paint, water coolers installed overnight, a complete makeover, a facelift for a hospital which possibly would have been crying out for one in all these years, but given one right before the Prime Minister comes in.
Well, absolutely. These are the right questions which we are asking on India Today. That why was this done yesterday night? Why could this have not done earlier? Because these are the basic necessity things which has to be properly equipped in such civil hospital. Let me tell you so many things, Preeti, that from cleaning to repair work for painting, denting, everything was done overnight. One very important thing to point out that in fact there was private contractors, there were private cleaners who were hired by a particular person. When we tried to reach him, he escaped from that place. People were hired for all this work. So why was this done facelift now? In fact, you mentioned about this water cooler, Preeti. What had happened after Prime Minister Narendra Modi left from the hospital, we went and spoke to the survivors. While we were leaving, we saw the water cooler. We tried to get water from this water cooler. There was no water. That water cooler was not even working. The heights was that a proper slab was made, and on that particular slab, this water cooler was kept. We checked the connection. In fact, there was no water connection. The plugs were not even attached. So such is the condition. Several of the cleaning work, the denting work, everything was done overnight just for a proper facelift was done, just to show the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this could have been done earlier as well. So this is raising several questions that these are the conditions of the government-run hospital in Gujarat, and therefore something has to be done. So we tried to speak to the hospital officials. They clearly told us, they told us that this is done every time, and this is a routine procedure. But let me tell you, Preeti, we were in that particular hospital. This was not a routine work. This was a proper facelift thing which was done just to show the Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Well, you're right there, because as much as what the administration of the hospital might say, Saurabh, that this was all a routine procedure, but what went down of the sprucing up of the hospital in the last 24 hours mocks every person who goes into the hospital for treatment, because it's not according to the normal citizen who goes in for treatment, but complete facelift when the Prime Minister comes in. With that, I want to quickly shift focus to the other big developing story that we're keeping a keen eye on, and that is the number of arrests that have been made. Will the buck stop at just the low-hanging fruit? Oreva Manufacturing, the company responsible for the maintenance of the bridge. Managers, 2 of them from Oreva, have been arrested. What about the top bosses? This is what we found out.
26th October 2022. This is Jaisukh Bhai Patel, the chairman of Ajanta Oreva, inaugurating the Morbi bridge. 4 days later, it collapsed, killing at least 135 people. The company responsible for the maintenance of the bridge is now under the scanner. Ajanta Manufacturing, belonging to the Oreva Group, a Gujarat-based electrical appliances manufacturer, famed for its Ajanta wall clocks, was awarded the bridge renovation project after obtaining the government tender. The Morbi Municipal Corporation and Ajanta Oreva Company signed the contract in March 2022, and it is valid till 2037. Ahead of the Prime Minister's visit to the accident site, though, the hoarding proclaiming Oreva's name over the ill-fated bridge was mysteriously covered up.
There I see some soldiers from the Indian Army. These are of course the officials from the administration. They are covering up this company's name here. Do you see these clear images? It was now the name is being covered by this piece of cloth.
The police say technical and structural flaws, including maintenance issues, were responsible for the tragedy. Since the accident, the top bosses of Oreva have gone missing. India Today visited the offices of Ajanta Manufacturing in Ahmedabad. They've been closed since Diwali. Employees were supposed to return on Monday, but the doors here are still locked.
The main gates of these offices are locked since last 3 days, according to the nearby residents. Nobody is coming to the office after this incident. So when we contacted the local guards here and asked them why the doors are closed, he said that he is unaware of the fact that why the offices are not being opened.
The Ahmedabad residence of the company's owner is also locked.
This house is locked, and last time Jaisukh Patel came here during Diwali when the inauguration of the bridge had taken place. He has one residence in Ahmedabad also.
India Today even reached the farmhouse of the Oreva group owners.
वो ताला क्या हमेशा लगा रहता था यहाँ पे? या
तो नहीं लगा था, अभी शायद 10 दिन हो गया होगा ऐसा शायद, लेकिन क्या है हम उधर रहते तो है नहीं, ध्यान तो होता नहीं है हमको।
अच्छा,
हम इधर ही काम, हमारा इधर काम चालू है ना, तो हम इधर ही काम करते हैं, इधर मालूम नहीं चलता है हमको।
So where is Jaisukh Bhai Patel? Among the 9 people who've been arrested are 2 ticket clerks, 2 managers, all employed by Oreva. The other 5 accused include 2 repairing contractors hired by the Oreva group and 3 persons working at the bridge as security personnel. The question is, what about the real big fish? When will justice for 135 deaths be delivered? With Jay Kishan and Mustafa Sheikh in Morbi, Gujarat, Bureau Report, India Today.
Viewers, let's shift focus now to the other big political development that has taken place, and that in the state of Telangana. It's an all-out war between the Congress and the TRS as the Bharat Jodo Yatra and Rahul Gandhi enter the state of Telangana. Why so? Take a look.
The Rahul Sena has entered Castle KCR. Entering Hyderabad today, the Senapati of the Bharat Jodo Yatra has hit straight at the top.
This confusion is created by the TRS themselves. I'll repeat it clearly, there's absolutely no question of any relationship between the TRS and the Congress. The Chief Minister of Telangana believes that he is running a national party. That's perfectly okay, there's no problem, he can believe it. And he's welcome to think that no, I'm running an international party, one that is also fighting elections in the United States and fighting in China and other countries. Good, no problem, we are perfectly happy to accept it.
That one comment has had the same effect as breaking down the Chief Minister's door, and invited this full frontal response from Telangana Chief Minister KCR's son, mocking Rahul Gandhi for his famous loss in Amethi in the 2019 election. The run-up to the 2019 election is in fact precisely when this vicious animosity between KCR and Rahul Gandhi first exploded. After Rahul's Congress had tied up disastrously with KCR's archenemy Chandrababu Naidu for the 2018 Telangana state polls, KCR had famously launched this offensive at the then Congress president.
मैं क्या राहुल गांधी क्या फैक्टर है मालूम है सबको दुनिया में the biggest buffoon in the country. Everybody knows. Whole country has seen the open assembly how he went to Mr. Narendra Modi and hugged him. The way he is winking.
While Rahul was defeated in Amethi, the 2019 tsunami had washed away KTR's own sister, Kavita, from her Nizamabad Lok Sabha constituency. But those are small details in this ugly flashpoint now exploding in Hyderabad, essentially between 2 dynasties. From being branded a buffoon to now being mocked for his Amethi loss, Rahul's Congress is desperate for revenge in Telangana. First in the upcoming Munugod Assembly by-poll this week, forced by sitting Congress MLA, dumping the party and jumping to the BJP. And next, in the Telangana Assembly election next year. The irony is writ large. Telangana was created by Congress-led government at the centre. Now Rahul leads a 375-kilometre march through 26 constituencies in the state, hoping for relevance and revival. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the air quality index, where the national capital region is concerned in terms of the air that Delhi and the NCR region is breathing, viewers, is abysmal in the severe category. All of it despite the many promises made by the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi and now in Punjab, where the maximum farm fires are taking place.
It is not just your eyes that are watering, or the disgusting stench of smoke in the air. It is not just the breathing difficulties you face at this time of the year. Long-time exposure to air pollution kills you silently, and this has been documented. Delhi NCR's air quality continues to be in the very poor category, as the region's average air quality index stayed above 350. And it is not just Delhi. Most Indian cities have air which is not worth breathing. Here is why an air quality index of over 100 should alarm not just you, but also wake political decision makers from their slumber. It has gone way beyond worsening asthma and reducing lung capacity. Air pollution has reached the womb. Scientists find pollution is reaching babies in the womb and slashing boys' future sperm counts. You heard that right. We are harming unborn babies. Man-made pollution is making unborn children very ill even before they've taken their first breath. Doctors for the longest time have believed that air pollution has an impact on fetal health, and this research, amongst many more, just validates those fears.
Our next generation, even before it is born, is getting exposed to air pollution, and these particles pass through the placental membrane as early as the first trimester of pregnancy and lead to developmental issues with respect to the liver, brain, heart, and even later on leading to decreased sperm counts in these children.
Air pollution is leading to heart attacks. A sudden increase in heart attacks, heart ailments, young Indians dying because of cardiac arrest has been noticed across hospitals in India, and doctors believe that this has a direct link with air pollution. There is enough research and more that points towards the direction that air pollution indeed is blocking our arteries. This is how.
Increasing levels of pollution have harmful substances which then go into the lungs and from the lungs diffuse into the arteries. We have a higher risk of increase of 2% risk of admissions from heart attacks, admissions from heart failure, admissions from stroke.
There is a possible link of air pollution with dementia. The Journal of Neurology says researchers have found the risk of dementia increased by 3% for every 1 microgram per cubic meter increase of fine particulate matter. It's no secret that pollution is reducing life expectancy. Air pollution is currently shortening the life expectancy of people in Delhi by 10 years, according to a new report from the University of Chicago. It is no secret that increase in air pollution has taken an extraordinary toll on both the quality and longevity of life in India. In New Delhi, Sneha Murdani for India Today.
You're watching a fact-check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp group. A disturbing video of the Morbi bridge has come to light, claiming that it's a Morbi bridge of people pulling the bridge cable. Well, the fact on that, viewers, is that the people are pulling the Morbi bridge cable is recent. It's not an old video. This is a recent video and not old as it has been projected.